Welcome to the Hero Hub podcast, where we explore the journeys of the industry innovators, trailblazers, and game changers who are shaping the future of vehicles and equipment. Whether you're here for cutting-edge tech, business strategies, or simple love of the ride, this is where you'll find the inspiration to fuel your journey.
My name is Lexa Frasier. I actually just got married a month ago, so it's now Lexa Honeststock. I'm going to have to change that. I grew up in Sela, which is about 5 minutes from Yakima, which is where the dealership is located. I went to high school in Sela and went to the local college here. Just got my bachelor's degree in 2023 in business management. Always grew up knowing I would do something with numbers. I didn't know what exactly, but my dad is a CPA, so I kind of always naturally went into that role. The dealership's located right off the freeway, very central Washington State. So a lot of people go through Yakima and Ellensburg, which is about 30 minutes away, is very popular for people to go through. And like I said, being right off the freeway, people just kind of naturally come here.
Tell me a little bit about how you got into power sports. I know you said you majored in business management. Was that a natural transition?
So I started working here before I got my degree. The owners are very supportive of getting their higher education. So they were super flexible with me with school and everything. I got into the industry completely by accident. A friend of mine works for our sister store now, but she worked here at this location, and she used to work for my parents, and she posted on Facebook looking for an office person, to do this and that. And I just saw it on Facebook and I messaged her, came in, interviewed, and got the job. There was no, oh, I need to be in the power sports industry. I wanted a job and it just seemed like a really good fit. I was just a office clerk, title, licensing, that kind of stuff, and started to transition into more human resource stuff. I was kind of in charge of the Indeed postings and going through resumes and setting up interviews. And then the controller, which is the role that I have now, he left the business, and the owner was like, I want you to do this. This is, you're the only person I want to do this. And he practically gave me the job.
Was there a moment where you knew this was the life for you, where you knew power sports was the right industry?
I don't know about power sports per se. I would say I knew these are the people that I want to work for. The owners are just very encouraging. I kind of I want to be you when I grow up, kind of thing. So, the power sports, it's fun and I really enjoy it. I enjoy the customers. I enjoy, being able to be around side-by-sides and ATVs. It's a fun, unique experience for sure. I just feel like, the owners are the people that I'm here for, in a way, if that makes sense. We're a smaller business and we've got 20-ish employees on average. So we build relationships and friendships, and we get to experience really cool things together. And we had a offsite event down in Oregon. I don't know if you've ever heard of Coos Bay, the UTV takeover. It's a really big event down in Oregon. And we had our two sister store dealerships down there and selling merch, and we had some really cool side-by-sides, and we just get to do really cool things like that. And the 20 groups too are always really fun. So I enjoy learning a lot about, everybody's experiences, and it's nice to hear, what's working for some people, what's not working for others, and using that, I've shared spreadsheets with people, things that I'm doing, and we always help each other out.
That's one of the questions, is how have the 20 groups made a difference for you?
Mm.
What kind of improvements have you seen?
I think mostly in the sense of, like I said, what we're doing, what works here. I know in one of the 20 groups that I've been in before, someone suggested that someone said that they are using a after hours phone service. So we've kind of considered doing something like that. We're looking into that right now, in your service department, especially making appointments and all that kind of stuff.
Tell me about your why for what you do every day.
My why would be my family. That's why I do what I do, and I want to take care of my family, but I also want to do my best for the dealership and make it as successful as I possibly can with any tools and skills that I have or can contribute. And I'm kind of a control freak. So it kind of works out because I'm very particular about numbers, and I'm like, you need to do it this way because this is what's going to happen if you don't.
Tell me about something that people don't see behind the scenes with the things that you do.
The accounting, it's a difficult thing to grasp. Accounting, you either love it or you hate it. There's no mid understanding or mid liking it. So you have to really, really understand it or you don't understand it. And so I think, especially like I said, with the numbers and needing to make sure things are done a certain way, a lot of it is the back end, and what me and my bookkeeper have to, take care of and deal with is it's important to do things the right way, or else it causes a whole mess with taxes and audits and all that kinds of stuff. It's easier to do it the correct way and not have to go back and make adjustments or whatever. So I would definitely say the back end accounting side is what people don't think about.
I know you just recently got married. How are you balancing work and family life? What tips do you have for others?
I would say stick to a schedule. I'm really good at the work-life balance. The owners aren't the type of people that make you work 10, 12 hours a day. You don't need to come in early all the time. You work your shift and you be efficient and you do your job. I mean, you don't need to be here 55, 60 hours a week. It's just not necessary, especially if you're doing your job right. I've got maybe some people that come in half an hour early, maybe an hour early for some of the managers. I've been a very flexible manager when people have something going on or need to take their dog to the vet or have an appointment. Go. I never say no to that unless it's unrealistic. I just know that people have a life and I'm not going to try to stand in the way of that or make it difficult in any way.
If you could go back and give your past self one piece of advice, what would you tell yourself?
I think the only thing that I've ever really thought of is I kind of wish that I started my bachelor's degree program a lot sooner than I did, because I didn't start till I was 26. I would have been 26 when I started it. No, I was like 27 actually. But then again, I also feel like if I had started that earlier, I wouldn't have been in the situation that I am today probably. I probably maybe would have ended up with a different job or interacted with different people that led me somewhere else. But I kind of wish I started my schooling earlier. In the group that I was in school, the community college, you stay with the same people for 2 years in all your classes. Because most colleges, it's different people with every class. But the way it's structured is you get accepted into the program. It begins in the fall and only 30 people get in to the business management program. And then you stay with those same 30 people for the next 2 years. So, I met one of my bridesmaids in that course, and I never would have met her if I hadn't been in that group of people. So I think it all happens for a reason. So I try not to have too many regrets.
How did work inform your schooling, and how did schooling inform your work?
I can tell you, I'm not using my economics things that I used in college in this job. I'm not. But I feel like college in general helped me become a lot more open-minded, and the way that I think is different because of college, and that is impacted my work. And a lot of, I think the HR stuff has definitely impacted myself here, especially in a small business. It's easy to let the HR things slip past you. So I definitely try to utilize what I learned at college for that kind of stuff.
Tell me about some of the bigger changes you've seen in the industry since you started.
I feel like from when I started to now, one thing that I have noticed is the type of customers that we get for certain things. So Harley was always like big, tough guys that come in and they're Harley. And now there's a lot of young people, and a lot of those young people aren't so Harley riders, but more of the sport bike, dual sport that has shifted.
Last question I have here, and I don't know if this will be relevant to you because I don't know how often you work with customers, but we usually ask for a memorable customer story.
I haven't been quite as customer facing as I used to be, but I do have one specific interaction that kind of comes to mind because I still have this. I was helping a customer and I can't remember what I was helping him for. I think it was maybe just getting his licensing paperwork together or something really basic. And he brought in this little angel statue like probably like this big. And he goes, "You've just been my angel." It was so sweet, but it was just, I did something so small, so when you do small things for people, it just kind of puts into perspective the impact you can have on someone's day or experience that they had with us.
Well, thank you so much to our guests for joining us today, and a huge thank you to our listeners for tuning in. I hope you found today's conversation insightful and inspiring. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with others in the powersports industry. We're excited to see you at the next one.